Hi there, I'm Helen, the designer behind Sunflower Cottage Crochet, and today's tutorial is all about how to get nice, neat colour changes in your work. So whether you're making a scarf, like my Funky Bobble scarf, and you want to have your colour changes nice and even, or whether you're making a smaller project like this cup cozy, my strawberry cup cozy, the principles are exactly the same and you'll be surprised how easy it really is. So come and join me at my workstation and I'll show you how to do it. So you can see this is my Funky Bobbles scarf for women, this particular one, and the transitions between the colour changes on the bobbles at the ends are fairly seamless. You can also see a little bit a hint that I have carried the yarn through there, and I'll show you how to do this in this video, but you can't really tell. And also I've made sure that my tension was even, so the other side is the same and there's no kinks or loops or little bits of the colour popping through there anywhere, so it doesn't distract from the design at all. Okay, so the first thing to note is that it really does not matter which stitch you're trying to use when you change colour. It can be single crochet, half double crochet, treble crochet. It can be a puff stitch, a bobble stitch, any stitch at all. The principles that I'm about to show you apply regardless. So I've got my sample here. You can see I've done 2 stitches in gold. So let's pretend for the sake of this pattern I need to do 2 stitches in cream, 2 stitches in gold, and then 2 stitches in cream again, and follow that all the way along. The key is the colour that is on your hook before you start working the next stitch, and I'm going to show you why that makes a difference now. So I've got my 2 golds. I'm going to grab my cream and I'm going to work 2 cream stitches. So I'll yarn over, insert my hook into the next stitch. Now if you're carrying the initial colour yarn, because you know you're going to be using it again, which I am here, you need to make sure, hang on, I'll show you on the next stitch because it'll be easier. There we go. You need to make sure that you're encasing or sandwiching this between this stitch and the stitch that you're creating. So we'll yarn over. I'm working a double crochet in US terms here. We'll insert our hook into the next stitch, but when we do that we need to make sure that the yarn we're carrying is between the hook and the yarn that we're working with. And then we'll yarn over, pull through, so we've got 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then if we pick up our yarn that we're going to use and drop the yarn we were using for our next 2 stitches, so yarn over and work that double crochet. Now you can see here that it has not led to a very clean transition. If I come in just a bit there, you can see a bit more clearly there that the loop that was on my hook when I started this cream has actually encroached into the first cream stitch, and likewise when I've changed back to the gold, the loop that was on my hook when I started the gold stitch, which is the cream one, has encroached and taken up some of this stitch. So we don't want that. What that means is that you're probably going to get frustrated. Your work isn't going to look as sharp and as nice as you want it to. So instead what we need to do, if I come back out a little bit, if I pull that out, actually I'll pull that one out too. So I need to work my second cream stitch before I change to gold. Now remember, it's the colour on the top of the hook that's going to be important here. So we'll insert our hook into the next stitch and work it. What we do not do is that final pull through, because when we do that, it means that the yarn on our hook is going to be the wrong colour. So it's the final pull through. So I'll drop the cream and pick up the gold. I'm going to give the gold a little tug, and what that does is it stops the yarn kinking behind, because what can happen sometimes when you're carrying yarn is you could get a little kink like that, which will show through and you won't like the finished product. Then we'll wrap our yarn and we'll finish that last stitch. So wrap your yarn, insert your hook into the next stitch, making sure the cream that we're carrying is between the hook and the yarn that we're using. Wrap our yarn and pull through and work that stitch. Now after the next stitch we will be changing to cream again. So we'll wrap our yarn, insert our hook into that next stitch, sandwich in that cream yarn so that it's carried through. Wrap your yarn and pull through, then wrap your yarn and pull through too. We are not going to do the final yarn over and pull through. We're going to drop the gold, pick up the cream, give it a little tug, not too tight because you don't want to affect your gauge, but not so loose that it won't pull any excess through. And then we'll yarn over with the cream and pull through with the gold. And we'll do that across until we need to change colour again. And you can see that that has given us, if I just move those tails out of the way, a much cleaner transition, which is what we want. So this process, as I've said, works regardless of what stitch you're using. So if I work a half double crochet in the next stitch but I want to change colour in the stitch afterwards, we'll yarn over, insert our hook, making sure we're sandwiching that carried yarn, yarn over and pull through. Now here, this is where we would ordinarily do the last yarn over and pull through. So we're going to drop the cream, pick up the gold, yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches and then work the next stitch. So you can see that that gives us the lovely finish. Now if we want one more half double crochet and then for instance we want a bobble stitch, just to demonstrate that, we would work our stitch up until the last pull through. We drop our gold yarn, pick up our cream, yarn over, pull through all stitches, and then we would yarn over and work the bobble stitch in the next stitch, making sure that we're sandwiching that yarn because we're carrying it still. I'll just quickly work this bobble stitch. And then here is where I would ordinarily do the final yarn over, pull through all loops on my hook. So I'm going to drop that cream, pick up the gold, yarn over, pull through all loops on my hook. So now I have the gold that's on my hook before I then start the next stitch, which I'll work as a double crochet. And the next stitch. So you can see there that by changing the colour of yarn on the last pull through of the stitch before the one that you actually want to change the colour for, creates a much nicer, cleaner transition for you. I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. If you have, please feel free to subscribe and hit the little bell icon, and that will let you know whenever I have new videos uploaded. And I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.